This is Learning AI asset, and in this video I will show it to you. But first let's run the demo scene. We have two scenes here. It's image recognition and snake. Let's start from the image recognition very quick, because actually speaking it's just ported demo from original source, and it just shows how to use a conv network library to transfer image through the neural network and restore it back. And what you see here is a training of this model from original image of the nice cat. And what we see on the right side, this is what this neural network remember from original image. And after some iterations, a cat on the right side will be closer and closer to left side image. It's actually demo scene and just for self-learning and some train purpose. And not only for that, actually for debugging, because this scene I used to use to clean my code and find the problems. So this one demo scene, and the second one is a snake. This is the most interesting part. So what is that? It's a Pac-Man style game. Let me get closer. Okay, I think this is the fastest way. Okay, so what we have on this scene. So it's box with obstacles, and NPC, which is a snake, has a snake name right now, but actually it goes as a Pac-Man game, but snake as well. So snake is the name. So this NPC is some model which is untrained from the beginning, and after a couple of iterations it's learned how to avoid obstacles and collect good and avoid bad obstacles. Let's run it. It will be the best way to show it. So what we see here, it's untrained NPC snake, which doesn't know what to do, and there is a two option for us right now. It's either start to train, and this training will just teach this NPC what is best way to move and how to control themselves. It's stuck now down and just and so far and so forth. But this asset will go with already pre-trained model, which we have here. So let's stop training and push load. So this model, which I gives you, show end result of the training. So for your convenience, it's actually the result of maybe a couple of hours of training for this model. So this model, as you can see, try to avoid obstacles, walls, and try to avoid the red collectibles. And As for game designer or for a programmer, it's give a good benefits, because in fact I'm not use any code how to control these NPC. So it's just some model which I give some vision. Those lines which you see here, it's ray tracing, which give a vision for a neural network inside this NPC, and feed this neural network with information about surrounding area. So okay, great. So what about how does it work? But first we'll need to talk about neural network first. For someone who doesn't know what neural network is, it's some mathematical representation of black box which has input. In our case, it's this ray trace which find obstacles, and output which gives the command for NPC to move forward, to rotate left or right. And this black box, which we will for our convenience call neural network or brain, will somehow find a way to learn how to translate input to the output. I mean, output, I repeat again, it's commands, what to do to NPC. So this gives good results for the games like this, maybe for more complex games, and it's actually fun and easy to deal with complex shape and so far and so forth. I mean, all those benefits about AI you can see and read a lot. So let's talk about from the beginning. What is source of this asset? So I pick. Let me show this here. This is actually a README for this asset, and I show straight where the original source code come from. So original source code come from this university, and it has quite a lot. Let's come back. Quite a lot examples, but I found this is the most suitable for the games. As for Unity community is the most valuable things. This is the original one, and it's written on JavaScript. So what actually this asset provide you, it's the port of libraries from this website for Unity, and I port this demo as well. So this demo is the same demo which in 3D you just saw. And here is the most information, and you will find very less information about neural network inside the assets, because this is a very wide area to talk about. There is many things. So this asset mostly about the tools. I will show you very soon what is it for. So this source code originates from this asset, not asset, sorry, website. Yeah. There is a many of them, some image recognition and so far and so forth. And yeah, so for theoretical information and for vision and documentation about the math behind those things, you can find easily here. It will tell you more. Yes. So let's go back to Unity. And now I will show the actual source code and show what you will get. So our package is this package contains the main folder. It's ConvNet. It has demo folder, libraries, and sources. So libraries, oops, sorry, it's wrong, it's the same. So libraries, it just utility leap for a JSON conversation, and the source code, it's actually port from that website which I just showed to you. And demo contain the materials, some scripts which is only contain those NPCs, collectible, and controller for the game. This is actually not game, it's just a bird skeleton for the game. It's will give you the flexibility to play around. And actually I'm not implement any sugar here, like some extra buttons or some scoring, because these assets, it's about AI, neural network, and how to use it. So let's start from the snake. So the snake code is quite straightforward. It's let me explain this first. Okay. Yeah. So it contains actions, forward, left, I. It's a retrace for hitting wall or collectibles. It's actually input for the for neural network. So the I will create input array for it. So not much there. There is only retrace which you're supposed to familiar with, and you will get which object did you hit. And I have a set of actions here. It's forward, left, or right with different speed. Save load, and now it's going interesting. It's actually building up. So this is as I want to say again, this is a port from JavaScript library from ConvNet JS website, and it for who work with neural network, it will be quite familiar, but for a new one I will explain a little bit step like one by one what happens here. So once we try to build this NPC, snake NPC, we create quite Okay, we have whatever, I forgot the numbers, like 8 or 9 eyes, which is the lines which do trace for objects around this NPC. And okay, it says nine eyes. Okay, we have 9 eyes and 5 actions. And what happens here, we create layers for the network, and this actually make a constitution for the model, neural network model. And later on, which we will use to create the actual model, it happens here. So we give those information about how this created to the brain. The rest numbers you have to spend some time and learn a little bit. Not much, as long as this already running game, so you can play with the numbers and see how it will affect you. And if you create some 2D game, it will be very actually helpful for you, because you can create some guard or attack NPC which will otherwise has a very complex coding or logic for movement, shooting, and so far and so forth. So this the way to do that will make you quite free and ease, because once you create a model and give your NPC to learn how to deal with a world around him, he will teach slowly how to move, how to shoot, and you end up with a quite nice behavior for your NPC. And to do so, for new one who new in neural networking, to do that, the neural network require feedback from the world. I mean, what happens in the world has to tell to a neural network model, is it good or not? What happens next? So here I just show you how we create and what we have input, and we have action, which is output from the neural network. And in neural network there is a concept for forwarding and backward. The forward, it's mean if you have a neural network and you pass the input, you will get output out of it, which you will apply for your model, for your NPC. But to learn, to teach the model, you have to tell the model, hey, you just give me this input, I just got this output, and I'm not agree. And you give back to this model value which will use to correct. So you are not agree how much. It's like totally fail for your model. You do something extremely wrong, or it's okay, just go ahead, but correct me this way. So this is called teaching. So you teach your model. So you have a neural model, and you give input, you go back to the output, and if you not agree what you see, you tell to the model, no, fix it up, fix. So, and this back and forward terms is exactly for this. So forward, it's mean we go from input to output, and backward, it's opposite. It's from output to input plus correction. And this is what you can see. So this all project is good for using in existing games, play with this, and even to learn how actually neural network works. It's very good because all source code here, no libraries, nothing. So you can use your debugger and just jump in and see. This is a, as I could tell you, this is the classic model for the neural network which you can find, the classic one. Backward, okay. And here actually I want to show you for new one. Those backward move, those value which we send to the model, which contain the value of how you want to correct or how much this model wrong about decision, you can find here. It's called rewards. So when we say to the brain back, we put the value which tells does this model correct or it wrong. And this value calculated based on distance to the found obstacle, for example wall, and digestion reward, it depends what did you eat. So if in this particular move you hit the good collectible food, you have a big positive, or you get negative if you hit some poison. Let me show you. Yes, it's here. It's just an example. So I just give you quick review for the for NPC here, and let's jump into the to the ConvNet library itself. So it's brain class, as I remember. Yeah, it's brain class, and it's actually encapsulates some logic for how it's called, reinforcement learning. It means it's remember couple of steps back, and it make a decision for next step based on the few steps back. That's why it's called reinforcement learning. Utils, yeah, it go for the brain, and the good things which I could show you here, actually, this is the last thing which I want to show in this video. It's how easy to actually use this library to learn, because each layer which you will find out for new one, I mean for new one who will start to just dig inside the neural network programming, you will find mostly all models, it's layers. It depends, but most of the simple one. And to understand about layers is how easy in this library. So all layers are extremely straightforward. So there is a forward move, backward move, and save and load. And if you go for really want to go deep into network programming, neural network programming, this will be extremely helpful. as well as to create any good NPCs in your game. And I could say in 2D games it will be quite useful and very positive for your experience and knowledge. I think it's too long right now, and thank you very much.